My least favourite person after David Lammy is Sadiq Khan. Geoff Thompson is the motoring commentator and host of Geoff Buys Cars, a YouTube channel. Geoffrey, good evening. Welcome to Talk Drive. How are you?
Good evening. You didn't put me on after a We Buy Any Car advert, did you?
I've got no idea. I don't listen to the adverts. What's the sag? Listen, I have to rush off for a wee. It's me age. Geoff. Sadiq Khan, on a serious note, has announced that he wants to pedestrianise Oxford Street within 2 years. I have loads of mates, I'm in black cabs the whole time. They will tell you categorically, black cab drivers in town, that their livelihoods are being decimated, that 40% of the roads are now not, achievable to go to, and it's causing all sorts of problems. This quest for pedestrianisation, for health and all this stuff, the latest is Oxford Street. What's he trying to do? Destroy people's livelihoods? Not just cab drivers, shops as well, right?
Yes.
Brilliant. Is that it?
So got you there, didn't I? That's it. That's the end of the interview.
No,
yes,
I'll do the comedy. You do the answers. That's fine.
But that's exactly what he's trying to do. It's ridiculous.
Why?
I'm not completely sure. I mean, the only thing I've got to go with is the fact that he's following instructions from above. But if you look at the absolute destruction that has taken place under Sadiq Khan, I mean, I'm just looking at some statistics now. He's been in since 2016. Murders are up. Knife offences are up. But no, we're concentrating on pedestrianisation. Sounds great.
I mean, that's the point. I mean, there's a knife epidemic. London is the centre of that knife epidemic, and we've talked about it repeatedly. He got re-elected, of course. There's 12 million people that live in London with only 1 million people voting for him because there was an apathy and people didn't come out. I just don't understand why. I don't know whether it's a bit like David Lammy today saying climate change is more important than terrorism and our international safety. They seem to be hell bent on this, and he rushes around London, doesn't he, in his two guzzling massive Range Rovers doing whatever. I don't understand whether these people don't understand what's important to people in this country anymore. Do you know what I mean?
No, I think we've gone past that point now. I think we're at the point, we're at a sort of post-politics point in history where now they're almost each playing a game of who can say the most flammable statement to try and get the people going. They're playing a little game of, we'll take away the winter fuel allowance. We'll tell them that climate change is more important than anything. Now, I think they're just having a laugh to see who can wind the public up the most. Sadiq Khan, certainly, the pedestrianisation of Oxford Street. I mean, everybody commenting on that article on the Daily Mail, I was just looking at it, but most people are saying, well, what would be the point in that? Because there's nothing there anymore. There's a comment here from someone that recalls going shopping in Oxford Street in the 80s and 90s, getting off the tube at Marble Arch, going to C&A and Littlewoods and BHS and the beautiful M&S Art Deco building that's set to be destroyed. I could spend a whole afternoon in HMV on Bond Street. Happy days indeed. Sadly gone forever. So
and of course, the other thing is, you're right when you say the world's changed. Let's be perfectly honest. Online shopping means that so many shopping centres are no longer what they are. But to take away what's left, I think you're a motoring correspondent. My favourite thing was when he did the old diesel fuel thing. Don't bring your diesel car in because you're going to kill Londoners. But I'll tell you what, if you give me £12.50, you can do whatever you want. I don't know. Is it about money with Sadiq Khan and Labour in London? Is it about morality? Do you think it's about money, or do you think, like with so much more, they just don't get it? I don't know.
Well, I don't think morality comes into it at all, because, I mean, every time you watch an interview with Sadiq Khan, he gives me this, guttural reaction. He's just such a despicable human being in every way. But, yeah, it does seem to be about money, and it does seem to be about power and control. And yet Transport for London never seem to have any money, and they also never seem to have any control. So I'm forced to believe, and I'm forced to conclude, that it must be just quite simply about cameras.
And also, very quickly, as you're the motoring commentator, finally, yesterday it was announced that although we all had to lose petrol and diesel cars by 2030, that was now being pushed back because you can have a hybrid. It's not going to work, that, is it? Steve Berry, the motoring journalist, said yesterday it'll be 1 million years before that happens. It's rubbish. It's just positioning. What are your thoughts on that? Electric cars, are they the future?
I reckon it's about time the motor manufacturers stood up and realised what, they were staring down the barrel of the absolute destruction of the motor industry if they didn't act now. And I'm amazed it's taken them so long to act. But it does look good, and you cannot force people to buy a product that they do not want. The government will try through legislation and taxation and, through these punitive EV mandates. But at the end of the day, what are they going to do? Hold a gun to your head until you buy an electric car? Well, they probably will in London. But, you can't force people to have something they don't want.
Lovely having you on. Tell me, you're the host of Geoff Buys Cars. You've got a YouTube channel saying Geoff Buys Cars?
I've got a YouTube channel that started with me buying cars, and then I started addressing some of the issues that are attacking motorists, like low emission zones, like low traffic neighbourhoods, like vehicle taxation.
Have you had Howard Cox on from Fair Fuel UK?
Oh, I know Howard Cox from Fair Fuel UK as well, and we're trying to get Quentin Wilson as well, but it seems he's sold out to the EV guys. So
I can sort that for you. I'm not very good on cars, but I can sort you that. Listen, pleasure to have you on. So, what's that in the background? Is it what's up on the wall?
Well, they're all cars, aren't they? Look, I've got my collection of cars right behind me. You see, because I run a car channel.
Right, brilliant. We need to get out more. Lovely having you on, Geoff Thompson. Thank you very much indeed. Motoring commentator. Go to his YouTube channel, Geoff Buys Cars. I'm going to have a YouTube channel. Chez has got no friends. It's 12 minutes to 7, Ta.